Hello and welcome to this YapCRM video tutorial. In this session we will learn how to use the basic and advanced search functionalities. We can search the CRM for contacts or companies using either the basic search tool or advanced search tool. Use the basic search tool highlighted here if you know specifically what you are searching for. As we can see, the tool uses a predictive filter to narrow the possible results based on the characters you enter into the tool. The more characters you enter, the narrower the list of possible results. The advanced search tool highlighted here allows for more specific criteria to be applied to your search alongside each other. On opening the search page, we can see there are multiple tabs. Left-clicking each would allow us to filter and search for that particular menu type. The default opening tab in most CRMs for the advanced search tool is Contacts. Various filters can be applied to your search. Here we can filter by a date range for company created or modified. Simply choose a date range in the two fields as shown and left-click Search. The search button applies whatever filter criteria placed on the search after each is specified. Highlighted here we can see the number of records identified by the filter and the individual records shown below. You can jump to individual pages as necessary using the page numbers shown here, and the records can be sorted in ascending or descending order of any of the fields. Let's select a record, in this case from page 5. Once in the contact details page, we can move backwards and forwards through our filtered records directly in the contact page. We do not have to return to the advanced search page to do so. However, when we do return to the advanced search page, as we can see, the CRM remembers the page you were last looking at. We can also filter by criteria for managed by, created by, etc. as applicable to your CRM. By specifying is in, we would include the selected names in the next drop-down list. Conversely, not in would exclude those selected names. In this example, we will search for any clients managed by two individuals. Again, left-clicking search applies the filter. It is worth mentioning that at any point the clear button will return the search page to its default status. So if you have applied multiple criteria and you are not returning records as expected, the clear button allows you to start again. The next set of filters looks for records associated in folders or groups. The first field includes, is in, or excludes, not in, from the specified folder or group. This of course assumes folders and groups are relevant for your CRM. First, let's create a new group from records managed by an individual and place it in a folder. After applying the filter, we can select records as are relevant to the group we wish to create. For the purposes of this example, we will just select all of the records using the checkbox as shown. Next, left-click Group. Enter a name for your group and left-click Save. We are now taken to the Groups page and we can see our newly created group in the drop list here. As mentioned, for the purposes of our example, we simply took all records managed by an individual and put them into a group. This is obviously unnecessary as the filter for managed by would achieve the same end. In reality, we may want to group our records by multiple sector types that may be relevant to a particular event or seminar. For example, for an annual wedding fair, you may want to create a group of clients that are in multiple sectors, for example, florists, reception hosts, wedding attire, etc. It is also important to note that groups are static. They will only remain relevant if they are maintained. We can now also add our group to a folder. To do so, after filtering to the relevant group, left-click the Manage Group Folders button. This opens a pop-out window where we can create our folder. After naming our folder, left click Add to create it. You can also archive a folder after selecting it in this window, or rename the folder. Once done, close the window. We can now add our group or groups to the folder we have created. With the applicable group selected, select all records and scroll to the bottom of the page. Now left click Move. Now select the folder you wish to place the group within and left click Move Group. Back on the Groups page, we can now see that the group no longer appears within the Groups drop list. This is because we would need to first select the folder, whereas no folder is currently selected here. Returning to the Advanced Search page, we can now filter by the group we have just created. Again, as mentioned, in order for the group to be selectable, if it is in a folder, we must first choose the relevant folder. We can also retrieve records that are not in a folder or group by choosing Not In instead of Is In. Filters can also be applied based on the company contact information on the left side of the search page. Each of the 4 fields is a drop menu containing various company contact information. You can then choose from various criteria to apply to these fields, such as contains, start with, and so on. The third field is a free format box where we can specify the criteria we wish to filter by. In this example, we have chosen to filter where the contact last name contains Austin. Left click Search to apply the criteria. This filter has now returned 4 company contacts where the last name of the contact contains Austin. By amending the second field to In List, we can apply the same filter but using multiple values. Simply enter your values separated by a comma with no spaces. Applying the filter now returns additional records based on the names added to the criteria. We can achieve the same end using multiple fields. In this case, we would change 3 of the fields to last name and enter the surname separately against each field. Let's see what happens when we apply the filter. No records have been retrieved. The reason for this is that we are currently stacking the criteria applied. So, the filter we've asked for currently asks for the records where the last name field contains all 3 specified, in this case Austin, Andrade and Higgins. Therefore, we need to change the filter to not stack the criteria. Applying the filter now returns the 6 records as we expected. The remaining fields allow us to specify if we wish to retrieve live, archived or all records. Next, we can choose whether to retrieve all contacts, 1 per company, or key contacts only. Finally, where users are separated into departments, if applicable to your CRM, we can filter by department. Although to demonstrate the various filters we can apply, we have looked at each one separately, it is important to note that these filters can be used in conjunction with each other to narrow the applied filter. As usual, it is good practice to log out of your CRM once you have finished your session. Thank you for watching this YapCRM tutorial.